Thank you for deciding to join me today. We can have a lot of things, we can achieve a lot of things, a lot of very important things and very successful things, like having health and being able to live like a human being should, having a family, having ourselves, having a nice job, having a roof over our head. A little confession that I will make: I slept unintentionally outside a couple of times because I couldn't get home and I haven't had no money for taxi and stuff. And then I realized how incredibly rich I am to have a beautiful roof over my head. Like, wow, even a bed, even though the mattress isn't comfy anymore. This is all a huge success. And people who don't have stuff like that, who have health issues or almost no money along with health issues, they will really acknowledge how rich is this. Let's look at, for example, multi-millionaires, people who have very high paying jobs, people who are, for example, a boss in a job, multi-billionaires, celebrities. Yes, they achieve the success. But as I watch the dark side of fame, even though their life is filled with amazing rich pros that we would all want, sometimes the fame can bring so many negative cons. Not always, but it can literally make their life a living hell because of infinite factors. So they are at one side very successful, but also at one side their life is almost like hell because of factors connected to fame. Not everyone, especially people who have smaller audiences, doesn't have to have it like that, but still dealing with fame is a pressure, and you have to be insanely careful about your every little opinion because people can get crazy if you think about something and haven't thought about it enough. But actually, when we look at those people who are at one hand very successful CEOs or celebrities, they suffer, not always, but many of them suffer from the very dark cons that can come with fame. And let's say their mental health is horrible. And in my eyes, these people aren't successful at all. Maybe from one point, yes, they are successful. From one point, from one side. But when it comes to the most crucial parts, I think they really are not successful. Only from that one side, but not from the whole picture of the most crucial parts. For me, peace is one of the biggest achievements you can achieve. And simply having their astronomical level of success is a small success in comparison to having general peace in mind. So if your life is hell, and let's say your health is hell, even mental health, which is 100% health also, and it is one of the most important parts of our health. Without our mental health, we cannot live at all or survive. With one leg, we would survive. With one arm, we would survive. With one eye, we would survive. But with no mental health, we would not. It's not freaking possible. I watched a professional doctor talk about it, and nobody have the right to disagree with this, especially if their knowledge about mental health is lacking. Mental health is so important, yet I don't really believe people are talking about it enough, or as they should. At least definitely not at my surroundings. In my surroundings or in my country, okay? Maybe in your surroundings they are talking about it enough, or in your country, but in mine, definitely not. And it's important to make sure to talk about it, share it, reach for help, reach for professional help, medical help. Let a professional scrutinize what could be the source for your illness. But there are still some people living in caves who don't believe in depression and humiliate people for it. I don't know if you live in a highly developed country or not, but in mine, believe me, there are way more people who don't believe in mental health and depression than those who do. That is really one of the parts that this age, even though it seems pretty futuristic and developed, come on, it's 2025 almost. It just doesn't contain things that would this developed age have or should have, But I already talked about this, but there are infinite amount of things that make this age not advanced enough, okay? Even though there's AI. Like, come on. But having no mental health or mental health at risk, people who have idea about what mental health issues are, they know how insane it can be, how dark and oppressing it can be. And people who don't believe in mental health can watch my videos about the physical reason behind mental health. But as I was casually, one day traveling by train from a job interview, I realized how much more beautiful this exact experience is when your mind is in relative peace. Yes, we always have problems, but in general, if your mood, your mental health is in peace, and how much worse is it if your mental health is in literal torture, oppression, darkness, suffering? It feels like many things are hurting you just as you look at them, metaphorically or in some cases not. And then I pictured and thought really deeply and declared to myself that Truly, peace is one of the biggest achievements you or I can achieve. I'm really sure about that. It's really priceless. It's really worth more than infinite amount of billions on your account. The worth of it is so big, I almost cannot describe it. Having peace in your heart, like wow. Like genuinely wow. That is such a fascinating thing. It's a general saying that you will always have problems in your life no matter how amazing it could be or it can get through time. But if you have general peace, you are living a life that is incredible, truly incredible in many ways. And please do not misunderstand this. There are a lot of things that are crucial that may be deemed a success, but this is concretely about why peace is one of those crucial things and one of those biggest achievements you can achieve. I also realized no matter where life gets me, if my general mental health would be peace, I would know I am really successful. Even more than some billionaires whose mind is in darkness. I'm not saying that every billionaire has their mind in darkness, but there are really many examples of them, okay? Let's not misunderstand this, okay? I really want to describe how amazing peace is in your heart, but I'm just struggling to find words for it, you know? How important, how amazing, how it literally built every little aspect of your life. Every little aspect of your life is literally billion times different when you have peace in mind. Everything, every smallest thing from morning to evening that you do has completely different meaning and vibe and power when your mental health is in peace compared to when your mental health is struggling. So really mental health contains everything, every little action and effort and thing we are doing, every little thing. If I were to define peace is low-key hard to define. What does it really mean in general? But it's a feeling, it's a state, and a lot of people who have almost nothing, barely enough to eat or drink or satisfy their basic human needs that everybody should have access to in 2024, okay? Do not misunderstand me. They tend to be many times, definitely not in all cases, they some kind of tend to have this more positive outlook, like good mental health. It's not everyone, okay? It's not everyone, but it's a general saying that you've probably heard that it seems that people who have the least seems to be the happiest, you know? But it's not case for everyone, like I said. But overall, my mental health is improving. It still has a big way to go. I won't be sharing for now my personal mental health story that I had before, but I feel like you know this is life. Life is incredibly unfair, and we have to accept life is like that and be strong inside. If I had to describe life in one word, that is unfair. But we have to accept it, you know, that life won't always go our way to a certain extent that you deserve or in a fair way. But we have to acknowledge this and be strong inside. If I had to describe life in one word, that is unfair. But how freaking exciting and amazing and incredible and undescribable once again having peace in your heart is. Just oh my god, I really want to describe it better. I'm trying, but if you ever experience for a longer time exact opposite of peace in your heart, you know what I'm talking about. How priceless it is. Especially worth more than infinite billions and billions and billions and billions. And yes, I'm also mentioning health, clothes, people, shelter, food, water. That is truly incredible and amazing. But having peace in your heart is definitely important to be among those, okay? And like I said, it's super undescribable how amazing it is, and it's success that sometimes even CEOs and billionaires do not achieve many times, okay? There are many people who have a level of success and are happy, good position in a job. I'm just talking about some of the examples who are not. Do not twist it by any chance, because the worst thing is misunderstanding one another so pointlessly, fighting about just misunderstanding. So if by any chance in general your heart is at peace, even though like I said you will always have some problems, I don't want to repeat myself, but I'm just kind of figuring out my thoughts to present you and to share with you, so it's not easy always. No matter how amazing life can turn out after years of struggle, consider yourself very successful, and like I said, I consider and stand by it. Peace is bigger success than many things, many achievements. achievements, many achievements, and it is one of the biggest achievements you can achieve. I truly, along with other important factors, I truly stand by that. If you have a general peace in your heart, you are very successful. So like I said, my mental health is getting better step by step, and please never compare yourself to others. I will make another take on this theme. Yes, you may see a lot of people who have it better than you. For example, you've never been into a relationship. Just an example that is happening frequently right now, even though it sounds like ridiculous or that would never happen, but it's actually happening in millions. And you are over 20 and others had infinite amount of relationships. That is the reality of today's age. I made many takes on this. There are millions and millions of people who have it like that. Trust me. There are always people who have your circumstances, even though they may seem pretty unique in any way. And trust me that there are people who have your bad circumstances along with other worse things that are happening to them, or even along with another or other brutal things that are happening to them. Just because you don't see relatable people in your surroundings doesn't mean there aren't countless of them. When we talk about peace, there is one super irritating thing coming to my mind, and that is people selling courses for peace that only actually makes your mental health like hell, using new age methods that are proven to be dangerous in almost everything. Fact is bullshit. Sorry for swearing. Like, ew, that's disgusting. The new age stealing money from people, lying to them, robbing them of their happiness. Many are deceived and they get into the new age deception trap, and they think it's an amazing thing, and they would never ever agree all these problems are because of participating in new age. Maybe thoughts, methods, belief, rituals, habits. It's a very disgusting and especially deceiving and manipulating thing. There are many testimonies about how new age is dangerous and terrible, but most people don't even know they are doing something from the new age. That is one of the biggest troubles of this. Deceiving stuff from the new age, deceiving stuff. And if they heard me talk about this, they would think it's not possible. Like I did before, which is understandable, because when you are into new age stuff, you don't want to admit that you are deceived. It doesn't want to let you know. But there are countless testimonies and proven proofs that the new age is a very dangerous topic. And the worst part is that you usually don't even know that your beliefs that you have taken or you've learned and the stuff you are doing is a part of the new age. And you won't even realize the negative effects from it are actually from it, because it usually works to prevent them, but actually only make them come into reality. And if somebody were to come in my comments saying the most disgusting stuff to my face, because what I said about the new age, you are the living proof that your critical thinking and research skills are terrible. Before you're gonna say something, you just cannot deny it without actually knowing critically that it's not true, which is true. And I feel sorry for them. They are deceived, millions and millions, and then they are like, oh, I used to be so happy, but now I have unaliving tendencies, and I live isolated with no friends. I used to be very social without knowing how easy for the new age stuff is to destroy you how it wants. Spiritual awakening is the most new age thing I can think of. It's essentially about escaping the matrix and opening the third eye, getting into fifth dimension, talking with angels, telepathic skills, tarot cards. Most of people don't know about how dangerous it is, or even that there's something bad about it. They may be hearing about it for the first time. Some people do know about the dark sides about it, and there are even some people who know about it, but they sell deceiving courses just to profit over misery of others. But let's continue. I'm sorry, I just have to mention that because I felt like it was really important to declare along with my thoughts and conclusions, okay, in this podcast video. I'm just really glad that I discovered this and really realized how really a big success in general peace is, and I really wanted to talk about this today in my almost podcast content. I don't know how I would describe this content, and I really felt like this was a theme that would be appropriate for today's episode if you're interested. So yes, I made it pretty clear that the other things besides peaceful mind is very important, like health, mental health, roof over your head, shelter, food, water, etc. If you were come and say that, you know, that what if a person was really struggling, you know, let's say when it comes to their health, do you really want to say that peace is an ultimate jackpot for them? I would say this, that peaceful mind also indicates your surroundings, you know. It also indicates your state in your life, the problems you might have, and usually if somebody has a peaceful mind, they are not really struggling in that way, which is low-key contradictory to what I said before, that people who have the least are usually the happiest, the saying. But also, in my opinion, these kind of mirrors your current reality. So obviously, if you are brutally struggling, you cannot have peace. Obviously, that's a normal thing, and it does make sense. So, and if time infinitely speed up after 2020, or does social media make us antisocial, or more of my videos, feel free to hang out with me and joining me in my other videos. But please don't feel like you have to, or that I'm forcing you. Thank you for joining me today and connecting with me today. Feel free to share your thoughts down below. It makes me so happy that I could talk to you today and that you have listened. It really makes my heart undescribably happy. Sharing your opinions on the internet is like playing with fire, honestly, because you can always outgrow and change your opinions in the future, or realize later some mistakes in your opinion that you are so sure about something, then you post it, and even though you were convinced about it, people will throw sticks and stones at you. But I will finally stop yapping. Sorry for my English, I'm not a native speaker, and if you cringe from my accent, that it's completely alright for me, and I can't wait to catch you soon.